People keep asking if I'm back, and I haven't really had an answer. But now, yeah, I'm thinking I'm back.
What's going on, everybody? That's right, I'm back, and in this video, we've got a lot to cover. So let's get to it. First, I'd like to ask you this. Have you ever felt defeated or beaten by the stock market? Have you ever found yourself trying different strategies just to have the same results, and it feels like you're just running from your inevitable downfall? In this video, we will discuss how our losing trades can have a negative impact on our future trades. We will also be discussing why I've decided to restart my small account challenge with even more restrictions this time around. And as always, we will be going over the trades of this week, which, if I do say so myself, had perfect execution.
Cool it.
Now, I'm not saying it was John Wick level of perfect, but it was at least John McClane.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Be sure to stick around till the end, as I have a major announcement for the channel. So with that, let's dive into our first topic. First and foremost, let's discuss why I'm starting over with my small account challenge and the restrictions I've given myself. For this new challenge, I will be starting with a balance of $502.57. I have also removed margin from my account and will only be taking one trade a day. But why am I doing this to myself?
It's a matter of focus, commitment, sheer will.
Ultimately, it came down to a few factors. I ended up getting hurt, and had to knock out a couple medical bills. That was a big reason. But more importantly was the second reason. The past few trades I've made have felt reckless and sloppy. The stock market is a brutal and unforgiving foe, and I didn't feel like I stood a chance trading with that much money. The risk of failure was too great. Until I can prove to myself that I can be consistent with my trades, I'm going to be trading with a smaller balance. The plus side is I'm now using the remaining funds for another project, which I'll be posting about on this channel. Ultimately, it will be a video series comparing the profits of day trading versus the profits of a long-term dividend portfolio. Initially, I wasn't planning on making a dividend-based portfolio. However, after looking at the stocks I had picked, it turns out I did just that. And so far, the results are not what you might expect.
That's crazy shit, man.
So keep an eye out for the first video in the Dividends vs. Day Trading series, which should be out soon. But with that, let's get to this week's trades. Before we continue, if you're enjoying this content, if you could do me a favor and hit that subscribe button, I'd greatly appreciate it, as it really helps out the channel. But let's continue. After my previous trades, I was a little hesitant at first, and I wanted to make sure I was taking only the best setups that were presented to me.
You're cursed, you and I.
With that being the case, I sat at the scanners for 3 days before I took my first trade. But on the third day, I found what I was looking for. I started my day as I always do. Woke up, got myself a cup of coffee, fed the dog, and then jumped on the scanners. There were two main stocks that caught my eye: WENA and AIEV. WENA was trading just below $5, while AIEV was trading around $2.67. I initially started watching WENA. However, it ended up jumping over $5 a share, which meant I wasn't going to be able to do my default purchase order of 100 shares. So I started to look at AIEV. As always, the indicators I'm looking at are the Bollinger Bands, the VWAP, MACD, and Volume Average. While looking at AIEV, it was approaching the top Bollinger Band with an aggressive speed, which I have learned time and time again is a risky trade for me to take. In the past, the trades that I've placed that approach the top Bollinger Band have left me feeling like I got my ass handed to me. And I'm not gonna lie, I was a little nervous just to place a trade. I had momentary thoughts of doubt. Was I good enough to do this, or was this just gonna be another mistake that would feel like driving into a wall? With my account being this small, I can't really afford to lose much at all. Well, sometimes you just gotta put on your big boy pants and find out. As AIEV was approaching its previous high, Based on the current market sentiment, I was convinced it was going to reach at least that point. So I placed my trade at 333. My trade was rejected. Even though my available funds for trading, as well as the settled funds listed on the Charles Schwab homepage, had a balance of $502.52. Apparently, they still hadn't settled.
Blood! Ashes to ashes.
Which is strange, because I had deposited my money 4 business days ago. I don't know why I thought they would settle within 2 days. Maybe I'm just being paranoid. It's not like the stock is going to shoot straight up, right? Oh, nay. Not only did Charles Schwab sucker punch me in the gut, but they proceeded to kick me while I was down. The stock ended up jumping up to $3.98. Cool. Definitely not salty about that one. Whatever. On the bright side, I was right about the trade, and I'm going to count this as a win, because honestly, I needed it. The following day, it was time to reload and get back to the action. After checking the scanners, there were a few stocks that had caught my attention. However, I kept coming back to CASI. Pre-market it had reached 675, and as the market opened, we were sitting at around 450, and the stock was trending upward after bouncing off the lowest Bollinger Band. All good signs.
Have a drink. And relax. For now.
After double-checking the MACD, it did look like the convergence-divergence line had crossed the signal line into an upward trend. The volume seemed to be higher than average, so it looked like it had great potential. So I prepared for the stock to bounce over $5.
Have you thought this through? I mean chewed down to the bone.
I ended up buying 100 shares at an average fill price of $4.89. The fight was on. Initially, the stock dipped slightly, but using the middle Bollinger Band as my stop loss, I had given myself a 15-cent acceptable loss. So I held it, and I'm glad I did, because it ended up jumping to roughly $5.20 in the same candle. This had put me up about $30 on the day. However, as it teetered back and forth, I wanted to hold this as long as possible to see if I could get more profit out of this trade. When I felt like the markets had turned, I closed my position selling for a profit of $18.11.
Yeah, I kind of enjoyed that.
Yeah, I know you did. Yeah.
If I had timed this better, I might have been able to get a little bit more profit out of it. Maybe. However, the price proceeded to drop immediately after this candle. I had timed this trade almost as perfectly as I could have. So overall, how would I rate this trade? Let's go back and take a look at our indicators. If we look at the time of purchase, the stock is currently trading below the VWAP, but we are approaching a breakpoint on the whole dollar, so based on that, it seems like a good entry. Now, if we look at the MACD, we are clearly on an uptrend with the volume increasing, indicated by the MACD being above the signal line. So based on that, it also seems like a good entry. Looking at the volume average, the stock does appear to be trading more than usual, so I'm thinking it's going to be a good entry. While I did leave some profit on the table, I don't consider that to be a result of a bad trade. We're all human, and we're never going to be able to get 100% accuracy on our trades. That's just fact. So for this episode's trade, I'm going to have to give myself 5 out of 5 stars.
That was a good one.
So that wraps up this week's trades, and I feel like I deserve a little reward after this victory. But there's definitely more to come, as this battle is certainly not over. And as promised, we do have a quick announcement. We recently started a Discord server under the same name as the channel, Degenerate Candlesticks. So if you're interested in joining a community of like-minded degenerates, be sure to check us out at Degenerate Candlesticks on Discord. A link will be in the description below. Ultimately, my vision for the Discord channel is just to be a place where we can all hang out and chat with people interested in day trading and finance in general. And as mentioned earlier, we are going to be starting a new series called Dividends vs. Day Trading. I'd love to hear your thoughts on trading dividend-focused stocks compared to day trading. Do you think one strategy will be more profitable in the long term than the other? Let me know down in the comment sections below. Now, if you've been enjoying our massive library of videos and would like to see more, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We're never going to try and push some masterclass on you, so subscribing really helps out the channel and helps us grow our community. But with that, I'll talk to you guys next time on Degenerate Candlesticks.
Good night, John.
Good night, Jimmy.